Welcome back! Feed your magical Christmas stockings and collect those rascal snow pieces. It's time for the holidays. My gift to everyone? Unlisting this outdated trash. Before that, I wanted to briefly go through all the mistakes, updates that made it outdated, and sprinkle in some fun facts about these 3 videos. Let's get started! Okay, literally the first frame of this video is outdated, but I'll get to that later. I mentioned that the evolving secondary for these 3 classes are best in slot, but as of recently, KMS announced the new best in slot secondary, so neither the Princess No nor the evolving secondaries are best in slot anymore. I somehow completely messed up saying this NPC's name by saying Frederick de Blanc, when it probably should be
Frédéric de Blanc.
There are some weird sizing issues going on with Von Bon in this clip. Matter of fact, there's a lot of minor animation issues, so I won't keep mentioning them. The Hyper Burninator didn't exist in item form yet when I made the video, but I was sort of close in my drawing, right? The Haven quest, A New Home, no longer gives enough EXP for a free level at 199. But using an obscure trick to level to 200 doesn't really matter anymore, since the Spiegelman hat exists and extreme growth potions are super abundant. I mentioned fusing to reroll flames on commonly dropped gear. While fusing remains unchanged, I doubt anyone in Heroic does this anymore with how tedious unlocking and utilizing Meister fusing is, and how abundant flames are. Was probably useful 5 years ago. It's still worth getting to Master Craftsman in Alchemy though, since it allows extracting recipes without having to transfer them. There's even stacked recipe extracting now, so there's no excuse to not start farming Grand Spell Essence for Whetstones, Meister Rings, Alchemy Potions, and Flames I think? However, getting Meister Smithing is even more worth it after the introduction of Legion Champion for the advanced weapon tempering skill. Since only clearing these bosses in practice mode is required for the Legion Emblem stat quests, the crit damage buff is infinitely reusable without expending costly whetstones. Fashion isn't misspelt here. I was just subtitling for Indonesian speakers.
Fashion.
Also, I said a sacrifice of Fashion points was required to utilize cash item set effects, but at least I corrected this in part 2 since presets equip over the set effect cash items. It's actually been a while as of both videos since they gave out these set effect cash items. Here's the uncropped recording of using the trait boost potions with the menu up, which made a pretty neat edit. I think all of Kinesis' skill points for ESP were given after completing a required tutorial, so it doesn't really belong in the free useful passives that could be easily missed. The new tutorial skip even gives all 6 points for ESP right off the bat. No classes were forgotten when explaining each listed class passive. Okay, next on updated Princess No, and the overpowered level 3 buff is gone. Sorry Copper-san. If anyone specifically knows why it did before, let me know, because maybe there's another way. For now, the Tengu buff is the next best obtainable buff in the consumables category, besides Onyx Apples. Not the worst, since Ascent skills scale from buffs that have a duration of longer than 30 minutes. Yay. Looking back, this last tip about the max magma slimes in the Guardian Angel boss fight is barely useful at all, especially with tests occurring every 2 minutes instead of 3, and only requiring 2 magma slimes to block a gate. I'm not sure why I included it, I think I just randomly was curious on why they disappeared, and was fascinated when I figured it out. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11...
Whoa, it's 12! Guys, it's 12!
The outro music for this video, Night Market, was accidentally made in mono when it was supposed to be stereo for directional sound. Pretty big difference. Take a listen. Goodbye. Goodbye. Rewatching now, I had no idea how abhorrent all the audio was. Why did nobody say anything? Oh, I'm gonna bleh. A bit of rare lore, the mic I was using was with my phone. I guess I was baited when I heard that using your phone mic was good enough for videos. Or maybe my phone was incredibly outdated. Apart from the sound being atrocious, the content itself wasn't that bad for a first video. During part 2, I got a bit better, but half the audio was still from my phone for some reason. Having souls still provides attack, but after the update that resets skill cooldowns when entering bosses, there's no need to slay mobs before a boss fight since each player's soul gauge refill as well. It's still important not to go the way of the dinosaurs to maintain that bonus attack. Since souls from mobs vary from 1 to 3, raising the soul gauge to specific amounts for these screenshots and fact checking was pretty annoying. Alright, just one more soul for 500. With most quests being delegated to the Maple Planner and the removal of gnarled keys, there's little need for clearing the quests in the light bulb. I don't even think it's possible anymore. Though, this new My Level Range button in the light bulb filters out most of the useless stuff. It keeps useful quests, like the Genesis/Destiny weapon quest, not you, Threads of Fate, not you, and Marble Buff. For this part, half of these decent skills were turned into passives, and the rest don't even cost HP anymore, but it's still useful to level them up for the passive stats. The volume slider in the login screen is now a lot more visible. The Wings of Fate, obtained from completing the Mushroom Shrine Tales questline, are more useful than I thought. For non-KMS reasons, the plus 3% Mesos obtained bonus stat when choosing Nue, Izuna, and Tengu goes beyond the 100% Meso acquisition equipment cap, even though it doesn't display as such in the character info menu. The 3% drop rate bonus stat also doesn't display over the 200% cap, but Maplers are unsure if it goes beyond the cap as well, since drop rate is drastically harder to test. Alright, I have a confession. I never actually tested using both a Roar 4 and a Rar 4, since I have a level 3 Cur ring, and the Fragment Fiend achievement is bugged for me, so I can't level my Rar 3 to a Rar 4. But it's kind of irrelevant with the introduction of the ring swap skill, since it's so much easier than using presets and possible to use in combat. If ring swapping with both rings is better, it would probably be only for Culvert or Dojo. The cooldown of every class's echo skill has been changed from 2 hours to 5 minutes, so this segment became useless. Unless a character was some reason logged out after using it, and the 5 minutes really can't be waited. There's a few updates to the useful websites part. A Legion server was implemented inside the game, though Xenogen's Legion server might be faster in some cases. The item simulator was updated with the 30-star update. I didn't realize at first, but the creator was the second to reach level 300 in GMS. I was also jump scared when I was copying their name here. The buff checker isn't really necessary anymore with the introduction of buff sequence. It was also recently announced in KMS a system to buy missing buffs in the menu, so that's something to look forward to. Let's hope this tip about cash shop inventory sharing class categories becomes outdated when they add Universal Cash Shop in GMS. The grandest daily quests no longer all require defeating 500 area mobs, since it's reduced based on areas unlocked, down to 100. And the Soul Urda quest is now a weekly. Wow, they really slammed this tip, huh? It's still kinda doable with the new star boxes, but it takes an average of an hour each day to get 10, so 2 hours every other day on reset. Monster Park Extreme is a weekly now, not a daily anymore. No worries about binding to stop Lotus's Purple Meteor iframe move anymore. This version doesn't exist anymore. Still good to stop Lucid's iframe laser move, though. Overall, Part 2 visually wasn't bad, but again, the content and audio are too outdated to leave up. Part 3, the video I'm most proud of. Even with how recent Part 3 came out, there's still a few updates to talk about. From the KMS announcement, the V-Matrix is getting a rework. It looks like the slot enhancement system is getting removed, and it will be possible to level everything to level 30 easily, so no need to do the weird slot enhancement splitting tech. Finally, since it felt weird that 5th job was more complicated than 6th job. I can't believe, not even a week after posting, they announced familiar changes. Familiar breakthrough cards were made available in Heroic, which not only increases defense for familiar summon duration, but helps a bit with Mystic Frontier for more action points. When Nexon said, "We'll remove useless lines," they removed the auto-steal lines I mentioned as somewhat useful, and kept super useful lines, such as in the first adversary update for KMS, the rope lift skip in stages 3 and 7 of Angler Company was patched out. Would have been a cool harmless tech to keep. Unfortunate. Casting a long iframe before entering may still work though, since it's not casting and entering at the same time, and works for other content. We'll have to see. Along with the familiar changes came the new 110 drop rate line for uniques, and 120 drop rate line for legendaries. Therefore, 426% is no longer the common minimum. It's 446% for interactive servers, and 436% for 99.99% of players in Heroic. That about wraps it up. Before unlisting the first 2 parts, what I'll probably end up doing is mash together only the relevant tips and tricks and add newer ones as a part 3.5 of sorts, after more changes are set in stone. Until next time, stay cozy.